Hello there, folks. Tonight, we're diving into the often overlooked story of Belgium and its African colony, Rwanda-urundi. Now you might be wondering, Belgium? Colonies? Weren't they too busy making waffles? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because this is a story of war, exploitation, and the enduring legacy of colonialism. It all started during World War I. Germany, holding on to this chunk of East Africa, found themselves on the losing side. Belgium, despite being neutral at the start, saw an opportunity. They sent troops to fight in Ruanda-urundi, eventually seizing control from the Germans. And just like that, a nation known for chocolate and tiny forks became the ruler of a land twice the size of Belgium itself. But hold on, it gets even wilder. After the war, the League of Nations, that well-meaning but ultimately toothless organization, decided that Germany wasn't fit to govern its former colonies. Enter the mandate system, a fancy way of saying, let's give these territories to the victors and call it a day. And so, in 1923, Belgium officially became the proud owner of Ruanda-urundi, tasked with guiding these nations towards, well, something resembling independence eventually. Now, governing a colony is a tricky business, especially when you're dealing with a place as culturally and ethnically diverse as Ruanda-urundi. But Belgium, in its infinite wisdom, had a plan, divide, and rule. See, before the Belgians arrived, the Hutu and Tutsi people lived together with a complex social structure that wasn't easily categorized. Sure, there were differences in occupation and social standing, but it wasn't the rigid, racially defined system the Belgians decided to impose. The Belgians, with their clipboards and their need to categorize everything, decided that the Tutsi, who were often taller and engaged in cattle herding, were the superior group. They were given preferential treatment, access to education, and positions of power within the colonial administration. The Hutu, on the other hand, were relegated to the bottom rung, seen as little more than laborers to serve their Tutsi overlords. Identity cards were issued, forever solidifying these divisions. This, my friends, is a classic case of colonial meddling gone wrong. By emphasizing and solidifying these ethnic distinctions, the Belgians planted the seeds of resentment and division that would have devastating consequences down the line. But hey, at least they kept those trains running on time, right? Let's be honest, folks. Colonialism was never about spreading joy and democracy. It was about one thing: profit. And Rwanda-urundi, with its fertile land and hardworking people, was a goldmine waiting to be exploited. The Belgians wasted no time in transforming the colony's economy to suit their needs. Coffee and tea, those beloved beverages of the Western world, became major cash crops. Vast plantations were established, often on land confiscated from local farmers. And who do you think was forced to work on these plantations for little to no pay? That's right, the Hutu population, subjected to brutal conditions and harsh punishments if they failed to meet their quotas. This wasn't just about agriculture, though. The Belgians also had their eyes on the region's mineral wealth. Tin mining became another source of revenue, with forced labor again playing a key role. The profits from these endeavors, well, they certainly didn't find their way back into the pockets of the Rwandan and Burundian people. Instead, they lined the coffers of Belgian companies and enriched the colonial elite. Now let's talk about the role of religion in this whole mess. The Catholic Church, with its long history of missionary work in Africa, was a powerful force in Rwanda-urundi during Belgian rule. Initially, the church aligned itself closely with the Tutsi elite. They saw the Tutsi, with their hierarchical social structure, as more receptive to Christianity. Tutsi children were given preferential access to education, often in mission schools, further cementing their position of power. But as the winds of change began to blow across Africa in the mid-20th century, the church found itself in a bit of a pickle. Nationalist movements were gaining momentum, and the Hutu majority, long marginalized and oppressed, began to find their voice. The church, sensing which way the wind was blowing, started to shift its allegiance. This shift in support wasn't just about moral awakening, though. It was also a calculated move to maintain the church's influence in a rapidly changing political landscape. By aligning themselves with the burgeoning Hutu movement, the church hoped to secure its position in a post-colonial future. However, this strategic realignment further exacerbated ethnic tensions, setting the stage for future conflicts. Please like and subscribe to Emgotv for more stories.